And welcome to the Kosura Media Group podcast. We are Kosura Media Group, and we are here to talk about all the things we love. We're going to talk a little gaming, we're going to talk a little movies, but it's just going to be a great roundtable discussion with great friends and some awesome times. I am Joseph Torres. You can find me at my YouTube channel, Reanimated Existence, where I'll be posting all types of cool stuff. Joining me today, we have...
Hey guys, my name's Bren vs. Food, also Brendan Rooney. Thank you, Joe.
And joining us, we also have...
What's up, guys? I'm Kobe. That's all I got. Actually, I didn't want to plug anything.
That works. And that we also have joining us today, New Mecha Gaming.
What's up, guys?
And
Yeah,
finally, and last but not least, we have the
Our
one and only
editor-in-chief.
Drew.
Hey, I'm the one and only Drew. Got nothing to plug yet, but should get started working on that soon.
Will eventually, Drew. You will eventually. But anyway, let's get on with the show. We're going to start off with our first topic, the DC streaming service. So basically what we're here to talk about regarding the DC streaming service is lately the streaming service itself has had some issues with getting new subscribers. They've been talking about all the troubles they've had, the lack of content. Users have been complaining about the lack of content. And honestly, for me, this is not too surprising, to be honest. The same thing is happening with CBS's streaming service All Access, and they're having issues with getting the subscribers they need to keep up the streaming service. What do you guys think about subscriber troubles? Rooney?
I think the main thing about DC streaming service having trouble in subscribers is that the price is a little high. $8 a month or $75 a year. I just think it's a little high, and you only get one account, where Netflix you can share accounts and passwords, and like the format of it. And I tried the 7-day trial for it, and there's nothing really there to like spend your money on or really invest into about it at first. And I mean, Titans was good. It was good, but it just left you wanting more.
Mm-hmm.
It is availability. So they're streaming Titans on Netflix outside of the United States.
Wait, what?
So-
They are? I didn't know that.
I mean, neither.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it kind of defeats the purpose of an international streaming service if they're putting everything on Netflix.
Yeah, it just... Yeah, you can go ahead, Rooney.
I mean, there's nothing really to invest your money and time in on there. If they were smart, instead of doing the streaming service, they should have just put Titans like on the CW or something. Put it on Fox or something of that network. Because this streaming service, it really didn't add anything to the experience at all.
They wanted to be like R-rated, right? Because wasn't
but-
Robin swearing in the trailer or something like that?
You have Batman line.
Yeah, he says F Batman in the first episode, and
Yeah, I feel like they should have kept it PG-13.
no, I like the tone of it. It felt different. It was good. They should have just put it on Netflix. Like, if you're outsourcing it to Netflix on the UK and outside of the US,
Well, you could still have that same tone, but as PG-13.
what's
You know
the
what I mean?
point
Like,
of the streaming service anyway? And then you're alienating a bunch of people. Like, fans have been waiting for Young Justice Season 3.
Oh yeah.
people
Cartoon
are still waiting for the new season of Teen Titans for the original. Where's that at?
Yeah.
You know, you have
That
to pay
one-
$8 a month. Season 3, and a guy like Joe can't even watch it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I don't have this streaming service because from what I've been told, there really isn't much on there currently. They don't have a lot of animated movies. Because the thing, like, the biggest thing that appealed to me about the streaming service is being able to watch a lot of DC's direct-to-DVD animated films, their old animated shows. That was the main appeal for me because I saw Titans and Isle didn't really appeal to me. It just felt like Daredevil, but without all the things that make Daredevil nuanced and good.
I can agree to that. Hard time.
I feel like, because speaking within animation, I feel like that's something that if the streaming service wants to succeed, that should be something they should focus on more. Because the thing with live action, I know, and I understand live action is a thing right now, but people's perception of DC's live action content is mixed. When anytime DC announces a live action anything, people just kind of groan and roll their eyes. But animation is generally something that people really seem to dig about DC, and I know that they're debuting some stuff. Of course, they debuted Young Justice Season 3. They've got the Harley Quinn animated series coming out, but I feel like there should be more stuff to it. And I even saw the whatever the heck that was, that teaser for Doom Patrol, and that looks... I don't know. Anyone else has thoughts on the DC streaming service?
I just feel like they should have had like they should have found a way to stream like Arrow and Flash and Super. Like I would have loved to have those on because I'm not really caught up with those, and like I guess I could do that on Netflix, but like the fact that it could have been on DC, like on the DC streaming site, that would have been even cooler because it's just like it's all there together, and like if they had found a way to do that, I would have been so into it, but they didn't. So I mean, that sucks.
Wait, so Rooney, are those shows on the streaming service?
No, those kind of shows aren't.
They're not.
Which shows?
No.
The
Flash, Arrow, Supergirl.
those.
Yeah.
No, they're not at all.
It's really really just like the old cartoons and movies and whatnot.
But I feel like if they definitely want to get on track with putting those shows on there and putting some of their films and more of their content, more original animated content.
Yeah, like I would love to see like the Dark Knight on that website. I would love to stream it on that website. Like that'd be really cool. Like
not to mention too, the app for it is like really laggy and like really janky right now, and a lot of people are mad about the app too for the outsource of it. Is that like
on mobile?
Netflix, Hulu, Crunchyroll, you can get those on like your consoles.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get DC Universe or DC Universe on Xbox or PS4.
But you can. I didn't know that.
No, yeah, you can't.
Okay, may I talk real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay, I feel like they kind of failed itself for now, but I feel like later on it might fix itself. Maybe add some of the classic shows and add some of the classic movies, like Under the Red Hood. Some other ones I'm trying to think of.
I could see it.
That's gonna fantastic.
Like I'll be honest with you, it sounded like originally when I saw this service, I said, maybe I wasn't for sure. I was gonna let it maybe grow for a couple months, then get people's opinions on it, maybe. But right now, I think it's just a pass for now.
Yeah, I think you made a good point with that because
Yeah.
initially a lot of people were like, "Oh, this sounds like a good idea, but it's not what I want yet." So they're all avoiding it, hoping that it gets better because they didn't start strong.
Also, too, it goes back to what Joe said about perception of DC and fans and critics and how very mixed it is. Where Disney announced their streaming service, Disney Plus, and everyone was raving about it because they're actually giving the fans. No, they're giving the fans what they want to see.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all the MCU movies and all the Disney movies off Netflix. They're making The Mandalorian, which looks awesome.
I can't wait. I can't wait for The Mandalorian.
Doing a Loki and Scarlet Witch show, and you know what I mean. And they're saying that they might even bring back the Iron Fist, Punisher, Daredevil.
Well, the thing about that is like that's kind of up in the air because it was discovered not too long ago that once those shows were canceled, Disney are not allowed to use those characters for up to 2 years. So if they are considering doing that, we might have to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't think the Disney Plus is going to have, I'm saying, the minute it drops. I feel like we're going to have to wait for a couple things.
I just don't like streaming services in general.
except for
Yeah.
Netflix, obviously. Netflix is, the better of all of them because we all use it.
Yeah.
Actually, so for the DC streaming though, is it just like the cartoons and TV shows? Because I heard something about like they're you being
Yeah.
able to access comic books
You can
too.
also read comics and stuff on there too,
Well, yeah, I guess.
and like communities of people, but
It's-
there's just
Oh, go ahead.
a lot there. There's not a lot there.
Yeah, it's just like there's no like none of the movies, like none of the like actual live action Batman movies or Superman. Like,
They don't even have Mask of the Phantasm. They don't even have
yeah,
Batman Under the Red Hood.
they don't even have what's the Justice League movie where it's like about Batman and he like
Justice League Doom from 2000.
yeah Doom yeah
Yeah.
that's such a good one and they don't even have it. Like I love that one.
Doom from 2011.
That's
Or
it.
like
I was gonna say I like the idea of the whole comic book thing. Being able to access these comics, but for the $8.99 a month, I think it's too expensive. Now, what they really should do is you should branch out and have like a type of bundle that only includes comic books. If you want to have comics, maybe it's like $50 a year or something like that.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
Decent. If you
Doesn't
you wanna
Marvel
read-
have one too? Marvel has like an all access thing, don't they, for comics? And how are they doing?
I think so.
They-
right? Wait,
they have
does
all
Marvel have
access.
their own streaming website?
No, they don't. Marvel has a thing where you can read their comic digitally. It works okay.
What
But
is it? Like, what
where you
website?
can- well, it's an app called Marvel.
Oh, that.
Unlimited.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. Oh.
It's like it's something where you can like read some of their comics
Mhm.
digitally.
have
It's
to pay for that, right?
okay. Yeah, you have to pay for a monthly. Like it's all right, but it's not anything like to rave about, really.
But I haven't heard anything about that failing. I'm trying to figure out what is Marvel doing differently that DC is falling apart on.
Yeah. Why read actual comics when you can read digital comics?
I encourage people to like buy comics because the comic industry, because despite the popularity of superheroes, the comic industry is still going down.
I think it's so much better to just actually have the comic book in front of you because it's just like, first of all, you're not gonna have any lag time. First of all, you know what I mean? Like it's right there, and it's just like, and it feels authentic too.
And I encourage people all the time, like I have a hard time keeping up with comics. Well, something you could always do is that buy paperbacks, but they collected editions because at some point these comic book companies will always release, like, say, the Batman run or the Wonder Woman run, Rebirth in a collected volumes in graphic novel form. And that's what I do. I mean, that's what I've been doing, and I like it better, to be honest, because I just have a lot of stuff instead of having to buy all these paperbacks because I don't really have a local comic book store.
Yeah, there's nothing really local for.
Oh, you got a valid point on that one. Like, for example, you can actually do that as a business too. If somebody's looking for a certain comic book, for example, like Titans or anything like that, you might have the right comic book, and they might go for a fair price if they're eager to look for it.
Right.
So,
I just feel like it gets back to what we said and stuff, Joe, is that last night what we discussed is that fans are like really don't understand why comics are so essential to life and stuff. And that when people look at Superman, like you said, Superman is like a beacon of hope that we do need in society nowadays. To you last night with the Marvel shows and how they canceled them, and that people just thought Daredevil was just like, oh yeah, it's just another comic book show, but really on the edge, it teaches you juxtaposition, and Punisher is a social commentary on PTSD as a whole.
I think we've had to say all we could about DC streaming service. Hopefully they can turn things around. Hopefully they add more stuff and they can do things for the better. We are going to move on to our next topic.
DC sponsor us.
That in mind, we are going to move on to our next topic: the failure of Bethesda.
Cough, cough, Fallout 76.
Yeah. Let's just get that one out of the way. Fallout 76 has been
players acting like NPCs to help out new people. I remember seeing that.
It's been a complete failure since the moment it launched, from people's not getting the refunds to glitching to people feeling like the world is empty. And you mentioned something, Drew, the other day, something about plastic Nuka bottles or something.
Yeah, you'd think that after how many times that they screwed up that they would have eventually learned, but they had this big thing where they released like a Nuka-Cola rum bottle for a special edition. I think it's for people who pre-ordered it, but it came out after. And what happened was, it was an $80 bottle of rum in a Nuka-Cola bottle. So, $80 must be fancy. But like the nylon bags, they went with a plastic bottle.
Oh man.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, Bethesda.
I mean, how
Oh,
hard is it just to
Bethesda.
make like a simple glass bottle?
At that point, I'd rather play Elder Scrolls Online over Fallout 76.
You know what's
Still
sad
Bethesda
too
game.
about Fallout 76 is that Steam is saying that if you bought Fallout 76, no, Bethesda on their own website is like, hey, if you bought Fallout 76 back in November, we will give you every other Fallout for free.
I thought
Just
that
have
was...
to.
I'm confused why they're advertising it that way though, because I was asked to pre-order it from the Bethesda website a while ago, saying that if I pre-ordered the game, I would
Literally
get
just
the
saw
3
it on.
original ones. But they're giving it to everyone, so maybe it's those who didn't pre-order it.
Yeah, hold up. I found the article. Here it is right now. The old Fallout games are now free for Fallout 76 players. If you played Fallout 76 in 2018, you can get Fallout 2 and Fallout Tactics for free on Bethesda's launcher.
Not even Fallout
Hey.
4.
Not even Fallout 4.
Or you can
you
get.
So like, if you don't have Fallout, that's stupid. Like, they should give Fallout 4 to people. Like, I'd rather play Fallout 4 over 76. Like, it's so much better.
New Vegas.
Nah, I like Fallout 4. Fallout 4 was so good.
3 New Vegas are the best.
I never played Vegas, that's why.
You should.
What I liked about New Vegas is that it feels more like Fallout 1 and 2 and traditional old school Fallout setup. And I think what I found funny about them offering the first 2 Fallouts and Tactics is that you can literally get them on Steam, the Fallout Classic Collection on Steam for like
Yeah.
like, why am I going to log into your crappy game when I can get 3 actually good Fallout games for $6 on Steam?
Fallout 76 is so bad when you ask your brother for Christmas and he's obsessed with Fallout, and you're like, hey, I'm going to get you a copy of Fallout 76. And he texts me back, do not waste your money.
Oof. Honestly, is it really worth the 20 minutes spending on talking about this? Like,
The thing is, like,
I mean, just Bethesda in general has become a huge wreck.
yeah.
Oh, I got one.
go ahead.
How about the? Oh, go ahead.
No, you finish. You start.
Okay. All right. How about this one, guys? This is going to be nail the coffin. You know how was the mod support was for free? God, no, they changed the rules on that now. Now you have to pay for it now.
Wait, what? You have to pay for mods for Fallout 76?
Wait, what?
For Fallout 4 you do,
No.
right?
No, Fallout 4, they're free. You just download them.
No. They changed it. They changed it a while back.
Because I've downloaded mods before for free.
I think you
And they have
downloaded
a creation
before
club.
that update happened.
Yeah, there's
Because
a creation club.
Oh yeah,
really?
creation
Oh.
club. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. I've had mods before.
I just
But
But
that
yeah,
is
if you
in-
downloaded it before, it was free. If you download it now, you actually have to pay for it now.
Yeah, it's actually
Fallout
pretty.
4 or
you
76?
No, Fallout 4 on Xbox One, PS4, even
What
Steam.
are they doing?
Dude, this is why. Oh my god, dude! Like, fuck.
Let's go back to
Oh,
the Skyrim.
Oh my bad. No.
Dude, hey, don't. Okay, listen.
Oh, no.
I love
'Cause the
Skyrim.
thing-
Skyrim's my game,
because-
dude.
Because here's the thing. Like, for me, this was the beginning. Like, as soon as, like, this was a long time coming, because, or which, don't get me wrong, Fallout 4 was a good game for what it was, but for me personally, as a follow-up to Fallout 3, it wasn't what I wanted, and nor was it what I was really expecting. And then you had the Creation Club, and then you have Fallout 76 coming, like just the way it is. This was a downward slope, and I feel like Bethesda really lost the trust of a lot of its player base. And I actually wanted to ask you guys something. Do you think what's happening with Fallout 76 and the perception of Bethesda right now, do you think this is going to affect the sales of their future games, namely Doom Eternal and The Elder Scrolls 6?
I mean, it just depends how it performs. You know what I mean? Like Doom's a great game, and I played the yeah, that one was so good. Like I played it; it was amazing. Um, yeah, again, it just all depends how they perform on them.
I mean, people go crazy for Elder Scrolls.
I'm one of those people.
I just feel like I hope they learn their lesson and don't back into this paradox that is Fallout 76 that's going to plague the gaming community for years to come.
Yeah.
Like if Elder Scrolls 6 comes out like this,
God, I hope not.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls 6 has to be better than Skyrim if Bethesda hopes to recover.
It has to be better than Fallout as a whole.
I don't think Doom Eternal is going to be affected because Bethesda's only publishing, right? They didn't develop it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, true. The thing with Doom is that it's only being published by Bethesda. The Doom series is developed by id Software, and that's why I Doom Eternal will be fine. Elder Scrolls 6, I don't really know. Now we have rumors that because of the way Fallout 76 is turning out, that they might be fast tracking the development of Elder Scrolls 6. And personally, I'm not a fan of this because I would much prefer they take their time, make a good game instead of rushing this out, and we get something that's really we get something really shoddy. And if Elder Scrolls 6 ends up being really shoddy, Bethesda are done for.
I agree 100% with this.
What are your thoughts, Drew?
Yeah, I think you pretty much hit it on the nail. Bethesda, it's like right and now it's just pretty much a make or break it for Bethesda. I mean, as much as I love the Fallout series, and as much as I love Bethesda games, the route they've been on the last 3 years, even after the release of Fallout 4, it's just been like a domino effect of just negativity. Like, their season pass was bad. They didn't have a whole lot of good content with the season pass. Then they created the Creation Club, which screwed people over by having all these extra things that should have been free, but they added extra microtransactions to it. And then, Fallout 76 was just the nail in the coffin. And I mean, and they're making it worse too. They aren't even trying. Like, for Christmas, they had this whole thing where they were selling a Santa Claus suit. I think I mentioned this in one of the other podcasts. But yeah, they have a Santa Claus suit, and it's $10 to buy the Santa Claus suit. And it's like, who would spend $10 on a cosmetic Santa Claus suit that you're only going to be wearing for like a week out of the year? Like, why not offer that as a free thing, as a compliment to you for saying thank you for sticking with the game? Here's a free Santa suit. Instead, they charge $10 for it. It's like they're against their community at this point when they're not offering them the best that they can. Especially within Fallout 76, it's like, Fallout 1, 2, Tactics, game that for free is like whatever, but they should at least offer the cosmetic stuff for free, some of it,
Yeah, it's just it's a real crap show. It's a real crap show. If we don't really have anything else, oh wait, what are you gonna say, Rennie?
You're getting to be EA, and it's getting really sad.
I hope they don't. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
To be EA, you can see the writings on the wall and stuff, and it's even, it's even worse that Obsidian, who is the true owners of Fallout 1 and Fallout 2, are making their own game now, and it's probably going to outsell Bethesda.
Damn.
The true people who own Fallout 1 and Fallout 2, the true creators, they're probably trying to do a monopoly and take over Bethesda, because the way Bethesda is going right now, they're going to go bankrupt if they keep this crap up. They're not listening to the community. They're not listening to the fans. They're not doing what should be done. Changes and cosmetic DLC should not be relevant.
I'm sorry, did you mention Obsidian earlier?
Obsidian?
Yeah, they're just bought by Microsoft. So,
oh god.
What's going to be interesting is, I mean, this is a little bit off topic, but since Obsidian's been bought by Microsoft, there's no way they're going to be making another Fallout game. So Fallout is pretty much screwed over with this because, Obsidian was the original creators of Fallout. And now that Microsoft has Obsidian, they'll be making a lot more exclusive Microsoft games on what people are pushing to be the next-gen consoles, which
but aren't
would be
they
bad
making
for
that-
Bethesda.
Aren't they making that new game, The Outer Worlds, that our buddy Tyler was going crazy for?
That's coming out this gen.
Oh, can I add one more thing? I feel like if they flop with Elder Scrolls 6, I feel like this is going to become Battlefront 2 incident again.
Oh, I was just gonna say that. Oh my god.
The way
But it
the
feels
track
worse.
record is, if Elder Scrolls 6 fails, that's going to kill the company and to kill the fans in general. And even Fallout, even Todd Bridge, or Todd, I don't remember the creator who made Fallout.
Todd Howard.
I think it's Todd
Howard.
He even said this. They're making Skyrim so much. He even told the gamer, stop asking for it. Oh, Skyrim and Fallout 4. He said that directly to us. If you do not want us to keep making Skyrim, stop buying our games. Or stop buying that in general.
I just think it's going to be a monopoly, and it's really going to be a turning point for video game industry as a whole. I mean, EA was the first domino to fall with Star Wars Battlefront.
Wait, what's going to monopolize though? What's going to monopolize? Like, what company's going to be the monopoly?
Well, that company that's always there and everyone never talks about, the redheaded stepchild, Nintendo, just sitting in the corner watching everyone just fade away.
Nintendo's a strange case though, because they're kind of on their own level of gaming. There's like mainstream stuff, and Nintendo's mainstream, but like they have their own audience that's much more broad and even much more dedicated. So they kind of have their own monopoly within their culture already.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like I agree with that statement. Like that's Nintendo fans are like,
very loyal. Even
I was trying to think of the word, but
Nintendo's fans are very loyal, even when Nintendo are clearly full of it. Getting rid of emulation.
Yeah.
One more thing, guys. Off topic. Did you hear about the recent interview with the Nintendo president?
No, I haven't heard that one.
Are you talking about the one where they are in the future they might consider just not about getting out of the console business?
Yes.
Yeah, that is definitely something that will definitely it's something that's really going to affect the industry. Speaking of emulation, I think this is a good segue.
Oh, yep. Another failure.
For failure, the PlayStation Classic.
It could have been so much.
That's just the thematic views.
Yeah.
The thematic view and message of this podcast tonight. The identity of failure, and where can you go from there?
It could have been. I think it could have been so
That's
much.
a good title. I like that.
I see. I've had a PS1 before. I've had a lot of games, and to see some of the games on there, it looked really cool. But just, I don't know. I just don't think it did as good as like the other emulators that came out, so where I work at my job, so our price for it literally it went from being $100 to $60. Like that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like the exact opposite effect of the NES Classic, where that went from 60 to 600.
Yeah.
Like that's. And honestly, I could have bought it myself, but like, do I really want to buy it for $60? Like, I don't know.
Is that they're charging this for $60, but it's like you can just go on PS4 and just go like this. Oh wow, PlayStation Classic. I'm just gonna get PS Now for $20 for a month, and I can play every single game they're already talking about right here on the PlayStation Classic.
They have PS1 games on PlayStation Now?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that, dude.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. I knew about like other games. I just didn't know they had PS1 games.
Let me check.
I don't think they do. I think it's just PS3 games.
PS3 I know there are PS2 games on it. I know they're definitely PS2 games.
Okay,
there's PS3 and PS2
maybe,
games.
That too. I don't know about PS1.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry for talking myself in a corner.
No,
that's fine. I think personally for me, I've been really getting into the emulation field of ROM and emulation community, and the NES Classic and the SNES Classic, which I own both of them, they were just they were popular with people who really had difficulty with emulation, even though emulating and ROMs aren't hard. There's tutorials everywhere on how to get these things done. But with the fall of Emu Paradise and the fall of Love ROMs, getting ROMs were harder and harder, which is probably which is a big reason why the NES Classic and the SNES Classic became so popular, is because dedicated hacking communities, they were able to find ways to hack into the interface for both systems. And you can set it to where you can actually add more games, because the NES Classic and the SNES Classic are just basically a big emulation machine, which is a big reason why there was a lot of, like, for me personally, on my SNES Classic alone, I have like 60 something SNES games. Like, I put Chrono Trigger on there, I put Final Fantasy 5 and 6 on there, I put Demon's Crest, I even put some Sega Genesis games on there. I have like Sonic the Hedgehog 1 through 3 and Streets of Rage and Altered Beast. It's just the possibilities with emulation, what they've been able to do NES Classic, are just endless, which is why there was a lot of hype for the PlayStation Classic, because when you're dealing with a 64 or 32-bit systems, you're dealing with much more powerful hardware, and it's been proven by people who have hacked into the PlayStation Classic that there's a lot of memory, there's a lot of power in that system, and the ideas and the possibilities of the PS Classic are just of like what you can put on there, which is why it was so disappointing, because you have a non DualShock controller, and you have a lineup of games that, when I saw that lineup, there's like I saw 6 or 7 games I would play, but there's like 17 or how many games on there others I wouldn't play. Like, where's Crash Bandicoot? Where's Spyro? Where is Tomb Raider? Where is Castlevania Symphony of the Night? Where are all these classic PlayStation games on here? And they're just not on here.
Well, most of them have been remastered for PS4. That's why they're probably not on there.
Like Spyro, for instance.
I mean,
Spyro
yeah,
remastered.
that's a good point, but I think it'd still be nice to have those classics on there.
Oh yeah, like nostalgia.
Yeah, if they can sell, Crash Bandicoot for 60, Spyro for 60, and the PlayStation Classic for 100, that's $220 they're making right there. That's what they're thinking, money-wise.
Yeah.
Do you guys want the list? I have the list in front of me.
Yeah. Give us the list.
Okay, so we have Battle Arena, Toshinden, Cool Borders 2, Destruction Derby, FF7, GTA, Intelligent Cube.
Wait, FF7?
Final Fantasy VII's on there.
Is that on PlayStation now?
Oh, this is
on the PlayStation Store, but it's on the PlayStation Classic as well.
Okay. So continue.
The Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Metal Gear Solid, Mr. Driller, Oddworld, Rayman, Resident Evil Director's Cut, Revelations Persona, Ridge Racer Type 4, Super Puzzle Fighter 2, Tekken 3, Rainbow Six, Twisted Metal, and Wild Arms.
See, like there's some gems in there.
Could have put more.
Then there's stuff on there like, why would I play any of this crap? Why would I play any of this crap? Like, where's Resident Evil 2? Where's
Resident Evil 3?
Where's Final Fantasy Origins? Yeah, where's Resident Evil 3? Where's Origins? Where's Tomb Raider? Like,
yeah, where is the Tomb Raider games? There's 5 Tomb Raiders that you can play for PlayStation 1.
It's tragic, but just like with the SNES and the NES Classic, hackers have been able to find ways to hack into the system and add more games. It's a slightly more strenuous process in the NES and SNES Classic, because the big difference is that a lot of these games are CD-ROM based, so there's a BIOS, there's more to it. Since the PlayStation Classic has gone down in price, I can see more people involving themselves in there. And I'm strongly thinking about doing this myself, just getting a thumb drive and just getting a PlayStation Classic and putting Crash Team Racing on there.
I want them to remaster that so bad.
They are making a remake, and I'm going to get that as soon as it comes out.
That being said, I honestly would love a GameCube Classic. Like, that would be amazing. Because there's a lot of GameCube games that I think I would enjoy.
I think they're going to release GameCube games as on a Switch Virtual Console, because now they have the adapter for the GameCube controller. Mm-hmm. so they're probably putting it on the Virtual Console. And
Yeah,
have, like,
honestly, and
Switch
that's a safer
compatible.
bet too.
Yeah, because people would love to play, like, a GameCube game like Mario Kart Double Dash on the go.
My
You know,
favorite, my favorite GameCube game was what was it? Rocket Power. I used to love that on the GameCube.
Guys, I have the list of all the PlayStation 1 games, so if anybody wants to hear some.
Didn't you just name them off?
No, that was
Just
on the
name a
PlayStation
couple.
Classic. Okay, so you could have put
You took a place. Okay.
you could have put FF9, you could have put Spyro
Oh, yeah,
1,
you definitely could have put FF9 on there.
you could have put FF8, you could have put GTA 2, you could have put Silent Hill, could have put
Oh my god.
Spider-Man 2000, you could have put Mortal Kombat Trilogy, you could have put Chrono Trigger.
There's a lot.
Hold up. Here's the 20 best PlayStation 1 games. So Chrono Cross, Colony Wars, Jumping Flash, Oddworld, Ark the Lead Collection, Wipeout, Bushido Blade, Mega Man Legends, Tomb Raider 2, Street Fighter Alpha 3, iHander, Incredible Crisis, Final Fantasy Tactics, Resident Evil 2, Symphony of the Night, Vagrant Story, Parappa the Rappa.
Rappa the Rappa, man. See, Sony, Sony, if you're listening to this, which you probably aren't, this is the kind of stuff that you could have done with this. Anyone has thoughts on this? New Mecha Gaming, do you have any opinions on this?
I do have opinions.
Let us know.
I don't know if this game was on the PS2 or PS1. I kind of wanted to see it come back on the PS4, like a remaster.
Hmm.
Oh god, sorry. I'm off right now.
Know
No, it's fine.
what the game is? I mean, another game I just found that I played when I was a kid.
Give me that.
No, go ahead. Okay, New Mecha.
Is,
No, go ahead. I lost my thought.
another game that I played when I was a kid that I loved for the N64 that was also on the PS1. Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker.
Oh no, you and
never
your
played that
Batman
one.
Beyond.
I don't think I ever played that one.
I'm looking at the entire list of PlayStation 1 games that came out. So Bomberman. Yeah, I really could go for a Parappa the Rappa. Sony, if you're listening, I know you're not, but we need Parappa the Rappa. Crash Team Racing, like Joe said. Looking DDR. DDR was on here. Wow.
Yeah. Sony's not listening because they're too busy steering away from E3 and all that.
They're staying away from E3, which
Working
makes
on all
sense.
like new projects.
I guess for me, like you said earlier, Toby, about them doing a GameCube classic.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to see stuff like that just yet. Like, like GameCube classic, PS2 classic, original Xbox classic, whatever the heck they want to put out there. I don't want to see those
Xbox
just
classic
yet.
wouldn't be a thing because Xbox One already has backwards compatibility for original Xbox games.
Gundam games, the Harry Potter games.
Like for me, like I feel like those consoles aren't really that old just yet. Like
I agree with that.
Yeah, they're only in the 2000s, right? Like early
yeah, they're not
2000s.
even old. Yeah, they're not even old enough to be considered retro yet.
Yeah.
This PlayStation Classic thing has been what could have been a really cool concept has been a complete failure, and I feel like because of this, Nintendo are going to put out an N64 Classic, and it's going to be amazing. And Sony are going to take a huge L. Drew, what do you think?
I mean, I can't really add much more to it other than, Sony really dropped the ball with this one, and it all has to do once again back to hopes for profits, but it ends up falling flat every time. They were rushing this PlayStation Classic for Christmas, and it seems like that it wasn't the people who were developing it that rushed it. It was actually the higher ups that were rushing it because I think you mentioned this earlier, how if you look inside, what's inside the PlayStation and the software and everything like that, they actually have the ROMs for games like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro on there, but they never uploaded them.
They did. They
And
did.
and
They
I'm
did that
guessing
to test the system.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's because they wanted to rush it. And I was also reading something about how the PlayStation Classic, quality-wise, of an emulator, is about as good as your average emulator that can get off the internet. Which you would think that for a PlayStation Classic, they would want to have like the best quality, or at least closest to matching the original PlayStation. But the quality is apparently at the average emulator quality, which is very disappointing and not worth $100.
And some of the games on there are the PAL region versions, and because they're not supposed, and because PAL region version games are not supposed to be played in the United States, they have frame rate issues. They should be the NTSC version and not the PAL region versions.
That's even better. So you're going to have frame rate issues. You're going to have screen tearing. You're going to have glitches. That's awesome.
And there's a type of
Thanks, Tony.
TV
One
where
of the
they don't
best
even
things I
work.
love in
Where,
gaming.
I
You say, Drew?
forget what kind of television it was, but there's a type of television where the emulator was very laggy on the PlayStation Classic, and it was almost virtually unplayable for some of the games.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's not worth
terrible.
it. It's not worth
I
it.
forgot to mention too, Time Crisis. For God's sakes, who remembers going to the to the game alley or they're so old now. I can't even think of what they're called.
Yeah.
Video Game Castle.
Oh
Not-
yeah.
Oh.
Game Castle. Yeah.
Like gaming machine, arcade games. That's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Game prices where like you pick up the gun and yeah, so like you know what I mean. They could have kept that. They kept that offer, and then here we go for Tomb Raider. You got Tomb Raider 1, Tomb Raider 2, Tomb Raider 3, Tomb Raider Last Revelation, Tomb Raider Chronicles. That's 5 Tomb Raiders right there, and Tomb Raider's supposed to be Sony's main face. Well, one of them.
One of the main
Yeah.
faces.
Oh yeah.
It's just
for sure.
tragic. It's just so tragic. But you know what? Hopefully, PlayStation learned from this lesson. We're gonna move on to the next topic. We're gonna keep on going with sadness. Blizzard. They recently just lost 2 of their CFOs. Drew, do you want to elaborate on this?
Is it Jeff?
Yeah, so what happened was the CEO was fired a couple of weeks ago, and they hired this new guy to be the CFO. But what ended up happening was, within a week, this CFO was also fired. And when companies do this, where they're just going through people that quickly, it's usually a bad sign of... Yeah, it's usually just a bad sign in general, because, like, they can't get leadership to, meet what they need. And if they keep going around this route, it looks like a bad turn for Blizzard. And as you also just mentioned earlier today, that Activision and Blizzard just split too. So, perhaps the CFO splitting thing, could be a bad sign for Blizzard. Like a lot of people are saying that's a good thing that Blizzard's separating from Activision, but it could also be a sign of desperation for Blizzard.
And for those listening at home who might not know what a CFO is, can you briefly explain what exactly a CFO is?
A chief financial officer. So it's kind of like a CEO, but in charge of the finance instead of overseeing everything.
And that seems to be a big issue that's going on with right now is finances. They have been, besides the catastrophe that was announcing the new Diablo game, they trouble with subscriber counts, subscription counts. It's been more down than it has been in years, and rumors have been going around that, well, it's not really a rumor, but it's sort of been made official, but not really, that they're considering making Overwatch free to play just to increase subscription services. Do you guys have any thoughts on what's going on with Blizzard right now? I'm going to take this to Brendan Rooney.
I just gotta say right now, Blizzard, if you're listening, coming.
Answer us, please.
The end is coming for you. You failed, Blizzard, and I am so glad Activision split off from Bungie. Bungie was like, you know what? We've had enough of your crap.
Honestly.
Know too much about Blizzard. I mean, I played a little Diablo. I mean, WoW, obviously, Overwatch, stuff like that. But I just feel that it's coming to an end for Blizzard. I'm sorry. I just think it's coming to an end.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, what you said that Overwatch might be free to play, that kind of sucks for the people who already bought it, including myself. And it's just like, what are you gonna do? Like, it was bound to happen, I guess. But I mean,
if you look at Team Fortress 2, though, Team Fortress 2 became so much more popular when they went free to play.
So this might possibly work to
the extent
making Overwatch free to play. And since Overwatch still is very popular as a strong community, this could work to their benefit. New Mecha, did you want to say something?
Yes, sir. And remember a while back they had some issues with the loot boxes too. Remember, I know in Hawaii
everyone always got duplicates and whatnot, and they didn't get anything good.
No, because some countries considers gambling, they're going to try to ban it.
Oh.
Because how is Overwatch the loot boxes? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
The NFG in that. No, the NFG.
Sorry about that, guys.
The
I kind of need to throw that one out though, just in case some people forgot about it.
RNG in Overwatch really needs to revamped.
Mhm.
When I was playing with Adrian, I would just get the same things and a lot of clone loot boxes, and the idea of loot boxes, I really do.
Like,
Yeah, and the mess up part is that they said that they fixed that. Like you wouldn't really get duplicates, and if you did, it would just be turned into currency. Like
You
you
still
would
get
just get currency.
You still get duplicates.
Yeah, no, but they said like it would turn into currency though. Like you'd still get currency, like because you get duplicate. And but it's not much though. It's like I think it's like 5. Like that's not even a lot.
man,
Honestly, what's
growing
going
up-
on? Oh, no, you can go ahead.
Same thing what Kobe was talking about. The duplicate stuff on Overwatch. Since I think the last event, the Halloween event, I've been good. Like I got skins and stuff. I'm have no problems with it. After that event was over, I'm just been getting currency up the butt lately. Like sometimes I say, "Oh, look, I got legendary." No, I got currency instead. It's oh my god, really? Like I don't mind, but same time I mind. Give me a skin or something, please. Sorry.
Yeah, I just it's a real shame what's going on with Bethesda lately, and hopefully they can turn things around. Maybe, possibly, maybe, and this is just me thinking out loud as I usually do. Maybe some things that they could turn around that could help them turn around is a Diablo 4 Bethesda. Can you give us?
Well, I mean, did you see what they're doing? They're doing Diablo Mobile or whatever.
But that's not Diablo 4 Bethesda.
No, I know.
I want,
That's
I
what
want Diablo 4.
Actually,
And if you want Diablo 4, that means that I want Half-Life 3, but that's never going to happen.
That's never. Diablo 4 is more likely to happen over Half-Life 3.
Half-Life 3 is
Oh,
never
wait.
going to happen by Valve, okay?
Mm-hmm. There's literally only 2 people working on Valve. All the rest of the devs left.
Yeah, I know.
However, speaking, if we want to get on topic back with Blizzard, I'm looking forward to that. I know remaking games has been a really big thing now. I am actually looking forward to what they're going to be doing with Warcraft 3. What is it, Forged Edition? What is it called, Drew?
Reforged Edition, I think it's called.
Because I've always heard like great things about Warcraft 3. It's like because I have some older friends who always used to like they're old school Blizzard fans. You know, there's like, oh, yeah, World of Warcraft is it's cool and all, but Warcraft 3,
Sammy, slippery Sammy, just talking.
But like but I've seen gameplay footage of Warcraft 3 and it's like one of those old school RTS games and it really looks like it's up my alley and I'm actually looking forward to seeing what they can do with Warcraft 3 4. So that's a slightly sign of good things for Blizzard.
Yeah.
Drew, do you have any more thoughts on this specifically Warcraft 3 Reforged?
I've played a little bit of Warcraft 3, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun game, but it was an old DVD, and it kind of crapped out after a while. But the Reforged Edition, I think, is the right direction for Blizzard to be going right now, especially since a lot of people haven't really played Warcraft 3, and it could be another way to introduce a sort of old RTS style of gameplay to a new generation, which could potentially hype up other games like perhaps a StarCraft 3 because that'll be similar. So they get people hyped up for Warcraft 3 Reforged. People are introduced to that style of gameplay. StarCraft 3 ends up becoming much more successful. That's my theory on what they're trying to do.
All right, so that was a pretty cool conversation, you guys. Rooney, you mentioned Bungie splitting from Activision, and that's going to transfer to our next topic. As was just announced today, actually, as of the recording of this podcast, Bungie have officially split from Activision, and the biggest thing that's coming from this decision is that they will be gaining full creative control of Destiny 2 going forward. Activision and Bungie have had a very rocky relationship, from the way they have been handling Destiny to the just a lot of unpopular decisions. Kobe, you're the main guy here who plays Destiny, as far as I know.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
What are
I'm
your
not
thoughts?
like, yeah, I played Destiny too. If our buddy Juan was here, he would, talk more about it. But I mean, I do play it from time to time. I think it's really good now, because now they can do like their own, like you said, they can do their own stuff, and they can add a lot more that they want to, integrate within the game. And I just think it's like, right now at this stage, I feel like Destiny 2 needs more. Like it's getting to that point where it's becoming stale. There's nothing really to do. Like everyone's done all the raids and whatnot. It's just like we need more. We need something to bring players back. Like something big, something like, I don't know. Go ahead, Rooney. You had a
I'm gonna pick up that trail of breadcrumbs for you.
yeah.
343. If Bungie did not split off from Activision with Destiny, they would have essentially fell into the same trap that they did with the Halo franchise,
Oh
handing
yeah.
it over to 343 Industries.
Well, they're not doing a bad job. I mean, they could be doing better, but they're not doing like awful.
Kobe, I'm going to stop you for a second, and I'm going into a
I
mini Joe rant for.
I
I'm gonna
like
go to a
343. I
mini-
think. Listen, I played Halo 5. I enjoyed some of it. It was enjoyable. Like it was tolerable, but like it wasn't the best game to come out.
Hold on, too
May
many
I
voices.
get-
You can go. You can go ahead, New Mecca.
Oh my god, I have such a story about Halo 5. I played it on
Let us
Xbox
know.
One. I did the legendary by myself. I instantly regret it. The AI are stupid. Like I mean full on full on retarded. And the way they did Halo, it's gonna kill Halo in general. We haven't heard of Halo in a while. Look what happened to Halo 6. And look what happened to the Halo TV show they're supposed to bring out, supposedly. But at this point, it's just 343 at this point needs to die. Get rid of that cancer. 343.
Well,
Bungie needs to come back. Bungie needs Halo back.
Actually, no.
No, but I think Bungie's like fine without Halo. Like I think it was a good thing that they split off, because you got to give other companies a chance.
No.
343 had their chance.
I am gonna.
I don't know.
Okay.
For me personally, I feel like what 343 Industries has done with Halo has been just tragic. But I feel like, going back to the Bungie conversation, I feel this harkens back in 2007, when Bungie split off with Microsoft after they felt like everything they could do with Halo was finished. Why I'm probably won't go back to Halo, because they feel, if a company feels like they can do everything they can with a franchise, they shouldn't feel the need to exhaust it anymore. And even though Bungie are still going to support Destiny 2, even with the split between Activision and Blizzard, they've confirmed that Destiny 2 will still be on Blizzard's Battle.net Battle.net. And there has been rumors of not Bethesda, but Bungie starting another game series. So this is just another step, a new beginning, and it's going to be really interesting to see where Bungie goes forward. Drew, do you have any thoughts on this before we move on?
Not many more thoughts, to be honest. I'm sorry. I don't really have a whole lot to contribute. Other than, do we know the history as to why Activision originally why Bungie originally went to Activision? I know you're talking about how they split from Microsoft originally, but why Activision?
I actually don't know the history behind their it's.
I'm sorry, your mic
Does
cut
anyone
there.
know?
I don't actually. If someone wants to look it up, they can.
Well, if we don't really know, that means we can move on to the next topic. Hopefully, I'm really glad to see what Bungie's going to do in the future, but we're going to move away from
Wait.
games for a second. Oh.
Real quick, did you hear about the God of War's director making the new DLC?
Oh no, he said DLC. He
DLC.
said no, he's not doing DLCs.
Well, it says here that God of War's. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but it says here that God of War's director Corey Barlog revealed that he had a couple DLC stories written for Kratos' latest adventure and whatnot. I mean, what does that mean? Is he making a new DLC or not?
No,
I'm looking at it right now. To clarify his words, there was actually DLC planned for God of War, but it was for being it was scrapped because apparently it was too ambitious. But just to talk about God of War for a second before I move on to the next topic, I don't think God of War needs DLC. It's fine just the way it is.
Yeah, I mean the story was really good. I enjoyed it. It was amazing. I almost cried at the end. Yeah.
I'm not afraid to admit that.
Rooney, why don't you tell us your thoughts on God of War?
Real quick, Rooney, just really quick.
Yeah. Okay. God of War, fantastic game. I cried like a
little girl.
Cried like a
little girl.
Cried like a little girl. The storytelling was ambitious, and it just goes to show that's why. Oh my god, gaming! Oh my god, you're a nerd! Like, oh my god, like those stereotypes we get as gamers, and people don't understand. And I had like a really good talk with Joe about this last night. Is that's why we need games like God of War and like Red Dead. We need narrative stories.
Yeah, nice, good story.
Because also too, we insert ourselves into that archetype as a character, and it reflects personality, but it also on society and how we view things.
Again, Spider-Man.
Exactly. All right. So, with that in mind, we are going to move on from gaming for a little bit, and we are going to go into our next topic. The best topic ever. Marvel dropped the trailer for season 2 of Punisher. I watched this morning. You haven't seen season 1? You need to get on that, Kobe.
I need to.
Really.
I haven't seen a Marvel show since season 1 of Daredevil.
Oh God!
Maybe that's all you need.
Maybe that's all you need.
Too bad Daredevil's not going to be getting a 3rd season.
Yeah.
It's not getting a 4th season.
Or 4th season, yeah.
We didn't see that coming, hey, because he's blind.
Yeah. It sucks, but what are you gonna do? Wow, Drew! I just realized what he said. Oh my god! But yeah, Punisher 2, season 2.
I saw the trailer today for Punisher season 2. I really like what I saw. What I saw with season 2 with the season 2 trailer. I really liked season 1. I don't know if it was one of the better season 1s to come from the Marvel Netflix. I think they definitely could have improved on some things. I feel like the story lagged a little bit in the middle, and for me, like when I watch a show about the Punisher, I want to see the Punisher do what the Punisher does, man. I want to see him mowing people down with guns the entire thing. What we got that a little bit, but what we got was a bunch of office government conspiracy crap that I really don't care about. So,
saying if I had to listen to Blackbird, This Is Raven, come in Blackbird. If I had to hear that again, and then the whole micro thing. You know, I have a lot to discuss about that. Joe, you take over, please.
But about what I saw here with season 2 is that I really dig what I'm looking at. This one feels a lot more crime oriented because you have the character of, you got Billy Russo coming back, going full on Jigsaw. He's got his criminal organization. They're robbing banks. They got their masks. Billy Russo's a little scarred up. You got to keep that. I understand because usually Jigsaw is a lot more disfigured. But the actor who plays Billy Russo, he got a pretty face. He got a pretty face. You need to maintain that. But to to deter that, they gave him a mask, which you see more of the scar and the scarring that you would think of with Jigsaw, even though he kind of makes him look like a member of Hollywood Undead, but that's a topic for a different day. But like what I see with the Punisher season 2, Rooney, you watched the trailer for the Punisher season 2. What are your thoughts on it?
I just like it and stuff. And if anybody wants to know, and they say like, "Oh my god, going back to like Marvel fanboys and people who talk like this," Punisher season 2 isn't like the Netflix show aren't connected to the MCU. Actually, the Netflix people did confirm who do these shows in their little separate Netflix universe. This does take place after Thanos' snap.
Oh, it does.
Really?
Putting it out there. This does take place after the snap. Credit goes to this YouTuber I watch. His name's Emergency Awesome. I watch every YouTube video he posts. He posts DC, Marvel, Game of Thrones, Doctor Who, and he did confirm this does take place after the Thanos snap.
Now, what are your what are your motives that it does? Like what how does it confirm that? Like
I can't say without watching the video again because like he just explains it really well. Like I'd have to watch the video again, but getting back to it though, like Joe said, Punisher season 1, you're like, I just want to see the Punisher
trailer right now.
should be the Punisher. But I mean, season 2, it's definitely Punisher being Punisher, and it feels more like
this. Yeah, this looks like we're gonna get more action, more of the Punisher being the Punisher.
Did the first season not have action? Like a lot of it?
No, it did. But the thing that just dragged season 1 down was just the FBI and how they just and stuff. And they're like, "Oh, we got to stop Frank Castle," and they're like, everything Castle's doing is just to prove his family and like that he wanted to figure out who murdered his family. And
spoiler alert, by the way.
You should just yeah. I'm not gonna say anymore. But the FBI is really stupid in Punisher. Joe, can you agree with that?
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of that segment of the show dragged on just a little too much for me.
Agent Madani wasn't even needed on that show.
Yeah, and I see that she's going to coming back for season 2. I have mixed thoughts on that, but I actually wanted to talk. Want to talk about the other villain that we're going to be seeing here for Punisher season 2, and this caused quite a lot of controversy. Besides Jigsaw, the other villain, I don't really know if this is a character from the comics, but the other villain, villain for the next season. Yeah, like it's probably like a Christian, like alt-right Christian fundamentalist, and I know a lot.
John Pilgrim.
John Pilgrim. I don't know if that's a character or not, but I saw a lot of people were criticizing this move, talking about, "Oh, here goes Marvel trying to force a political message, a political message in their shows," even though Marvel's always been known for doing that, even in the comics, even back in the 60s. Stan Lee said it himself. Even then, like even in the comics, Marvel have had villains that have had a not outwardly religious, but clearly based on religion. Like you had the Elite, you had the Holy. A lot of the early X-Men villains were essentially religious groups that did not approve of who the X-Men were. I wouldn't say it's not propaganda. I just think it's just more kind of like what they've been doing all these years. Drew, do you have any opinions on this?
I haven't seen Punisher, so I don't have any opinions on this, but you were talking about this new villain?
Yeah.
So he's a religious fanatic, right? And you say he was alt-right as well?
Yeah, pretty much.
An alt-right Christian fundamentalist.
Is that his character in the comics like that, or is that just for the show?
He's a new character for the show. I just looked him up. There's no comic history of him at all.
Okay.
The thing is, like, it's cool. Yeah. Oh, were you going to continue to say, Drew?
Oh, no. I was just saying when you posted the trailer. That's what I was just saying.
The thing is for me is that this is like a friend on Facebook pointed this out. A lot of people, people are complaining about this, but they have had characters like this in Punisher comics before, like Elite, for example, had basis in Christianity. Well, he's not was in Christianity, but was highly religious. I'm gonna take this conversation in New Mecha Gaming. Do you have any thoughts on the Punisher season 2?
The way it is, it's starting to look good, but I kind of want to see some of the more brutal, gory stuff from like the more gritty, like Punisher Max, for example, the Punisher Max series.
Oh
from the
yeah,
comic
yeah, yeah,
version.
yeah.
I want to see that one, or the freaking. Oh, my bad with the language. I want to see Cosmic Ghost Rider at some point.
I think I would like to see that too as well. Actually, that's kind of you mentioned Punisher Max, and that's kind of the vibe I got from the first season. When I remember watching the first season, the season 1 trailer for the Punisher, and I kind of got like Punisher Max vibes from it, which not exactly what I got for the season itself, but is that they're not taking more influences from Punisher Max, because that's definite, or the Garth Ennis run, because the Garth Ennis run on Punisher in general is what a lot of people think of when it comes to the Punisher comics, especially Punisher fans. They namely point to the Garth Ennis run. Like, if you're looking for some great Punisher comics, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Oh, I got another one too. When the time he stole the Iron Man suit, he made the logo, the Punisher logo on the Iron Man suit, the War Machine
yeah.
suit. I meant.
Oh, and then there was the time that he turned into he turned into a zombie or something, like a future zombie.
Wait, I don't remember which arc was that, but it got pretty good. Like,
I guess.
I think right now the way they are doing Punisher, I think they're doing it great. I haven't seen the show at all, but I might have to get into it. But the way y'all talking about it, it sounds like they're doing a good direction. I'm glad, at least.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to this upcoming season of The Punisher. I'm gonna watch it the minute it comes out. I think it's gonna be. But, do anyone else have more thoughts on The Punisher season 2 before we move on to our next topic?
Can we just talk about one thing, and how that John Bernthal,
Sure.
who plays the Punisher to perfection?
Yeah, like I agree with this highly. I think this might be I think this might be the best incarnation. Like, I think John Bernthal might be the best live action incarnation of the character, and it's great to see, because the Punisher has always been a very and the Punisher has not had the best hasn't had the best luck when it comes to live action. There was the 1989 movie with Dolph Lundgren, and it was terrible, awful, awful, awful. I don't recommend you watch it at all. And then there was the 2004 movie with Thomas Jane.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah, I know some people do like that movie. I'm not one of those people. And then you have Punisher Warzone, which
I never saw Punisher Warzone.
I haven't either, but I've seen some supporters for Punisher Warzone. I think Ray Stevenson played Punisher in that one, and I know a couple people have support, especially a lot of Punisher fans. Like they stick up for Punisher Warzone, and they really like Ray Stevenson as Frank Castle up until John Bernthal showed up.
The thing is too, I kind of want to see. Oh, off topic too. Y'all might be excited for this one I'm about to tell y'all. They might bring back that Deadpool animated series. Netflix, or not Netflix, did what was the company was supposed to do it? But Taylor Swift's joke or something.
FX.
It was it was FX.
They've been thinking about bringing that back.
I think I remember reading something like that, and they're thinking about possibly reviving it, because I remember the FX were considering an animated Deadpool series that was fronted by Donald Glover. I think he was going to be the showrunner, but Marvel ended up canceling the show due to, I believe it was creative differences between them and Donald Glover.
And something about Taylor Swift. I don't know what was the deal with it, but yeah.
I don't know anything about that, but I from what I read, it was creative difference between Donald Glover and between either Marvel and FX, and just based on some things I read here and there, it didn't really as talented as a guy Donald Glover is. From what I read from the preliminary scripts, it didn't really seem like Glover didn't really have an exact understanding of the character, or FX and Marvel weren't getting to get, because from what I heard, because in my opinion, I feel like they thought they were going to get community stand-up comedy Donald Glover, but as far as like the style of humor goes, they were getting Atlanta Donald Glover, which might not appeal to, it's that more kind of it's more it's more hood, it's hood humor, and it might not have appealed to Deadpool's white guy audience, if I'm being honest.
Or bring him in, but with the Punisher team up. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, that might not work.
No, the thing is that I don't mind the idea, because I think Deadpool's a character works the best when he's teamed up with somebody, because by himself he can just be kind of a little too much, even in his own comics. Like the best Deadpool stuff is when he's like teamed up with Cable, or he's like on the X-Force, or he's teamed up with Spider-Man.
Yeah, those shows are funny.
Or you know what they could do with a Deadpool animated series, along the lines of you guys remember the show Batman the Brave and the Bold?
Yes.
Where like Batman teams up with like a different DC Comics character every episode. They could like do something like that, where Deadpool teams up with like lesser known Marvel characters, every now and then they have like a bigger name Marvel character show up, and they have Deadpool team up with them. Drew, what do you think?
About like a Deadpool like crossover stuff?
Like a Batman Brave and the Bold style Deadpool show, where every episode he teams up with a different Marvel character.
That'd be interesting, yeah. It'd be pretty ambitious for Marvel to do that, especially trying to connect it with their MCU, unless they decide to keep it out of the MCU.
It's going to be out of the MCU. Yeah. It's just going to be its own separate thing. Okay, Kobe.
What's up? Sorry.
Kobe, what are your thoughts on this Deadpool thing? On this a possibility of a Deadpool animated series?
I mean, it definitely stretches it a little bit. We haven't really seen one in a while since I guess the old cartoons, I guess. And it definitely makes it different from the live action. And I'm down for it. I'll watch it, give it a shot and see how it does. I mean, if it does good, it does good. If it does bad, then it was never meant to be, But yeah, I would definitely be interested in watching it. I think it'd be really cool to see what they do. Whether it's going to be obviously family friendly, or if they, do a Deadpool cartoon, but more adult, blood and gore and whatnot, and all that stuff.
I think they're gonna go more the R-rated route than the family-friendly route.
So then, what you're thinking? Like what channel you think it on Adult Swim or something like that?
No, not Adult Swim, because if I had to guess, considering Disney's upcoming purchase of Fox, they'll still have Disney will own the FXX channel, so they probably might
do that. You don't really see a lot of cartoons on that either, so it'll be interesting to have that.
Besides Archer, there really isn't much.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, Rudy, you were talking about this earlier. Did you want to talk about the 20th anniversary of Batman Beyond?
Yeah, we could talk about that if anybody else wants to chime in. I'm going to save my thoughts because I want to hear what others have to say first.
I'm just waiting on Joe's rant next.
I never really watched much of Batman Beyond, so I don't have much to contribute to this particular conversation. Only thing I really seen was that
Ooh.
yeah. The only thing I really seen was the Batman Beyond movie with the Joker.
Mm.
That's a great movie, Batman
Wasn't it
Beyond
his
and the
son though?
Joker.
Was it his son?
The Son of Joker, was that what it's called? The Son of Joker or something like
I
that?
think so. For Batman
No,
Beyond.
it was
Batman Beyond. Great.
Dick Grayson. Yeah, the thing was like it was Dick Grayson. Like Joker had his like DNA or blood inside Dick Grayson, and what would happen is that he would
It was,
turn
uh,
into the Joker.
It was,
Mhm.
it was Tim Drake.
No, it wasn't Tim Drake.
Oh no, it was
Yes, it
Tim
was.
Drake.
No, wait, no, wasn't it Jason Todd?
No, it was
No,
not.
it's
Tim
Tim
Drake.
Drake.
No, it's Tim.
Why was
Yeah,
it-
it was
so
Tim
it
Drake. It's Tim
Why
Drake.
was it
Yeah.
Why was it Tim Drake?
It was Tim
Because
Drake.
they skipped Jason Todd because it's in the continuity of Batman the Animated Series, and they skipped Jason Todd and went straight to Tim Drake.
So they just chose him.
Didn't they mention something about Jason Todd though, where like he was afraid of losing another Robin?
Mm.
Or
Oh no,
I
like
could have missed
in
it.
the animated series, I think they skipped Jason Todd entirely. They went from Dick Grayson straight to
Yeah,
Tim.
as long as it wasn't Dick Grayson.
No, so what happened was and stuff is also too, if you want to go on the Batman Beyond and the comics, they did expand on it. Batman Beyond is messed up. So one, I read
Oh,
it
yeah.
before. Bruce actually got Barbara pregnant, and then she got beat up in an alley, and she had a miscarriage. And then Nightwing took a bullet to his eye, so he has an eye patch in the Batman Beyond comics.
So
Yeah.
Batman
it's
Yeah.
like
Beyond
Slade-esque.
is messed up. I saw it on Death Battle one time.
Wait, which one? Because there's a few variations.
No, there's a
Oh,
couple
They
variations,
talk about
but
the
that's
comic. They talk about the cartoon.
No, what happened was they made those continued comics after like a couple years ago, and it was the continuity of the animated series and stuff, and it's messed up.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh.
DC does have a dark tone to it that Marvel doesn't have.
oh no, Kobe, are you kidding me? Marvel comics are dark.
Yeah, well, yeah. But so when you look at some DC comics, they can be just as dark, maybe even darker.
I gotta go with Joe on this one. They are.
It, dep-
I haven't read too many comics to really know. So I mean,
it depends on the writer. It depends on the series, and depends on the writer for both companies.
yeah.
So just to get my thoughts on Batman Beyond, Batman Beyond was actually my favorite cartoon as a kid. Like it was my go-to Batman cartoon. I even, as a child, I liked it more than Batman the Animated Series because here's a version of Batman with a really cool costume and an awesome flying car. It takes place in the future. You
Yeah.
fight cool villains.
And I think we talked about like how cool it would be to have a live action Batman Beyond. Well, I think some of us said it was cool.
Yeah,
I don't know.
with
I don't know if
Bruce
you're sold
Wayne.
on it, Joe.
With Ben Affleck as the Bruce Wayne mentor guy.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you or Rooney are sold on it, Joe, but
I think
I
Rooney was
think-
against it.
I think Rooney wasn't too big on the idea. Why aren't you big on a Batman Beyond live action thing, Brendan Rooney?
I just don't think it fits the continuity because the Ben Affleck Batman, he's been a Batman for 20 years in Gotham, and they're going on the Frank Miller style of Batman, where he had his Robin defeated and stuff, and mixing Frank Miller with Death in the Family and Killing Joke. So, I mean,
which Killing Joke wasn't even that good. So
not talking about the cartoon,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the comic.
The comic.
yeah, I know.
The comic was great.
I love
Yeah.
Batman the Killing Joke. Comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the comic was really good. I actually liked it.
No. Okay. So getting back to it on Killing Joke, the first 15 minutes of the movie is like in a black hole. That's gone. Thanos when he did the snap, like that's gone. That was not even supposed to be in the movie at all.
Please.
Preach.
The rest of the movie was a direct to direct, panel to panel adaptation of the comic, of the graphic novel, and I loved it. But that I'm not talking about that part that everyone knows. As comic.
Yeah.
The part with Batwoman and Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Drew. Now I have to.
Is that the part we're talking
Hey,
about?
they didn't show anything.
I mean, that wasn't panel to panel.
Yeah, they didn't show anything.
It wasn't panel. I guess going back to the topic of a live action Batman Beyond, I think the best route to go for that, for me personally, is just if they do want to do a Batman Beyond live action movie, if if DC had their cinematic universe in order, they
Yeah.
I feel like that's something they could several movies down the line. It could be it could be like what Spider-Man, how they're depicting Spider-Man right now,
Mhm.
the MCU, where it's like he's the young, where Harry McGinnis is the young, fresh face, and he's the quote unquote new Batman or new Batman in training. Really cool route to
Trainee.
If DC had their cinematic universe in check.
Yeah, but first DC needs to get their cinematic universe in check before they do that.
Who would be a
But
good
I think
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Bouncing back, I mean, Aquaman's really good.
Not going to IGN. Cough, cough, too much water.
I thought it was all right. Drew, what were you gonna say?
I was
Too
gonna say,
much
who do
water.
you, if we do end up having like a live action Batman Beyond, who would be a good actor to play him?
I don't know. I guess it would just kind of,
You know, it has to be someone young for sure.
well, obviously, I'm thinking like someone like in their 20s.
Andrew Garfield. I'm calling it now.
Isn't Andrew Garfield like
He's pushing
39?
40.
Yeah, isn't Andrew Garfield like pushing
No, he's
40?
like in his mid-20s.
Feels pushing 40.
Like early mid-20s. No, he's not pushing. Andrew Garfield?
Yeah, Andrew Garfield's pushing 40.
No, he's not. Andrew
Yeah,
Garfield.
I'll look him up.
Someone, Drew, look this up. Look
Yeah,
up
Andrew
Andrew Garfield's age right
Garfield.
now.
1983.
He's 35.
So that's pushing 40.
Oh, okay.
36.
Mid 30s.
He'll be 36.
Well, I thought he was mid-20s, okay? Still, you can make him look young. I think he could do it if you wanted to.
Depend. I think it depends on the actor. I think my personal choice, now that I've given some thought, is a guy's name blanks on me, but he plays Jon Snow on Game of Thrones.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yep.
I think if I had to pick anybody, I think he could be cool choice for
Yeah,
Chris
you
Ham-
just have to get rid of the beard and long hair.
Kit Harington.
Yeah, Kit Harington. I just said it.
I think he'd be a pretty cool choice for Terry McGinnis. But then again, I also think he'd be a pretty cool choice for young Bruce Wayne if they wanted to.
Ooh,
Instead
that's a good choice.
Like if they decide instead of doing what they did, the 20-year veteran Batman, they wanted to go, if they wanted to start the cinematic universe with the younger, inexperienced Batman, just like how everyone else is younger and inexperienced. I think Kit Harington would be my choice to play a young Bruce Wayne Batman that you can build a franchise on. But I guess we're not going to get that. So
real quick, since we're kind of on the topic of live action movies, you guys want to take a quick brief to talk about Detective Pikachu? Joe, I know you got some crazy thoughts on it.
Actually, before we go, I want to go to New Mecha Gaming and just get his brief thoughts on Batman.
Yeah. Adrian, you there?
New Mecha. Okay. I will see some.
But yeah, I guess
Detective
Pikachu.
Sorry about
No.
I had to
Sorry.
do some stuff real quick.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. What are just to give your brief thoughts? What are your brief thoughts on Batman Beyond?
Batman Beyond. There's like several rats they can do. Like, honest to God, like right now with the DC cinematic universe right now, there's just no way they can do it right now.
I agree.
Maybe like maybe by 20, 30 years from now they might do it, but at this point I'm not for sure. I just have no ideas. No offense, guys.
That's all right. I guess we can talk a little bit about Detective Pikachu. I think we're gonna do this super quick. Detective Pikachu. Okay. I just need a general answer from you guys. Is it weird that I'm mad that Detective Pikachu does not
Looks really good.
it looks like it could be good and not a steaming pile of crap.
I think, I can agree with you on that. Like, I never thought, like, me personally, I thought it was gonna be like bad. Like, I thought the CGI was just gonna be horrible. I thought the voice, like, was gonna be like squeaky or whatever. Like, they were gonna high pitch his voice, but no, it's like Ryan Reynolds is a good spot on like Pikachu. Not like he's like impersonating him. Just like, you know, him voice as Pikachu sounds really good, and it's just like he's trying to be funny with it. And I don't know. I think it looks really good. CGI looks great and everything.
I mean, I would have preferred Danny DeVito. But
Oh
all right.
my, there we go. Honestly, that would be cool. I just
That would
don't
be
think.
hilarious. If they had Danny DeVito voice Pikachu in it, it would be an immediate 10 out of 10 best picture.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, nothing against Ryan Reynolds, but if they got Danny DeVito to play Deadpool, I'd be all for that.
Oh my god,
That would be
you just
amazing.
see
Like
a short, fat Deadpool.
an older, like Danny DeVito as an older Deadpool, that would be
Sure, yeah.
amazing.
Oh my god,
Greatest movie in the history of cinema. Like Gone with the Wind,
Dan-
my hindquarters. Danny
Danny DeVito would
DeVito
do anything.
Deadpool movie would be the best
Or
thing ever.
Not even just have his Eminem character be Deadpool.
Like that? You like that?
Rooney, what are your thoughts? Brief thoughts on Detective Pikachu?
I mean, I'm gonna check it out. I think it's pretty cool. I can tell it's following the plot of the game like really crazily. So
I've
I
actually
mean,
never played Detective Pikachu, so the game
gonna-
itself.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, I'm excited for it. So-
I think the movie looks a lot better than the game, though. I know it's following it, but it definitely looks like it looks a lot better than the game.
Now you see, it's kind of interesting because we have these two big game movies coming out this year. With Nintendo has a Detective Pikachu. It looks like it has
Mhm.
potential, pretty good CGI, and then Sega, and they're
Oh no!
we haven't even
Okay,
seen
listen,
a trailer,
listen.
and
No, we're not.
and when you look at that Sonic, you just know it's not going to be what you want.
Okay, but we're giving Detective Pikachu a chance. I know what
Okay.
you guys are saying about Sonic, but I mean,
I'm giving him a chance too.
we don't know. We really don't know anything about it other than he looks derpy as live action. But like, you never know. It could turn out to be a really good movie. You know what I mean? Like,
Getting a trailer for that?
it
Man.
could turn out to be really good.
I like your enthusiasm, Kobe, but here's what I think.
But I mean, live action Sonic doesn't really make sense, I guess. But go ahead.
Here's the thing with live action Sonic. Think about this. One of the leading roles in the movie is James Marsden.
Really? Is he Sonic, or is he like a human or whatever?
A human. He's going to be like Sonic's like companion or whatever. James Marsden. I don't know if you guys remember this movie, but James Marsden was in another movie where he was best friends with a CGI animal. It was a movie called Hop.
I know.
Wait, he was in Hop.
Yeah, he was in
Russell
Hop.
Russell Brand was the Easter Bunny.
Yeah,
Was he really?
that was
Yeah.
a movie.
I didn't
And then-
know that.
Yeah, and then 3 years later, we got Peter Rabbit for some reason.
And that
Russell.
and the fact that James Marsden was in that movie and he's gonna be in this movie, Sonic the Hedgehog's a little. All I can think about is this could potentially be Hop 2.0.
I mean, he has experience working next to imaginary furry animals.
Yeah, he was
Pop
perfect.
up,
For the
Chris
role.
Chan.
He was perfect for the role. It's weird. Like it's New Mecha Gaming. Do you have any thoughts on? Do you have thought? First of all, do you have thoughts on Detective Pikachu?
Yeah, I kind of be honest with you. I feel I'm gonna give this a chance. I feel like it's not gonna be 10 out of 10, but I feel like it's gonna be there. If they can pull this off correctly, we might see more live action movies. But those characters in general, like that's one of
Gotta go fast.
Sonic. They scrapped that idea for a while, but with Detective Pikachu at this point, I feel like they might nail it, and we might get a peek like the Pokemon series with like Ash, Misty, Brock, and so on, so on. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Like, I feel like this actually might work. Then they can bring us into the Pokemon universe with this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It like I'm hyper for it, but at the same time, I don't want to be hyped up like Dustin, just in case.
I'm. You want to go into it cautiously optimistic.
Yes.
And that's kind of how I feel too about this. Like, I'm going in cautious. I'm going to ignore Sonic the Hedgehog is even a thing. The way it is, just like everything I'm hearing about it, like I can already I feel like it's gonna go in the direction of like Alvin and the Chipmunks and the Smurfs and Hop. Like I can already picture it in my head. There's gonna be I'm saying this right now on January 10th, 2019. There's gonna be a scene where there's gonna be a scene in the trailer where Sonic is floss dancing and he's singing that one Drake. He's singing a Drake song.
Probably.
He's gonna be floss dancing and singing a Drake song in the trailer.
I'll cry.
I can see it.
You mean like how Shazam was floss dancing?
Yeah. but
instead of being endearing like it was in Shazam, in that for the Sonic movie, it's just going to be cringy because he's also going to be singing a Drake song. Rooney, what are your thoughts on Detective Pikachu?
I'm excited for Detective Pikachu. I like how it's actually getting the scale and the respect that society and the community can actually come together and be like, oh my god, so that's what all you nerds were playing, and you'd be like, yeah, thanks. And now Pokemon's cool now, so
that's actually something I wanted to touch upon. Like, it'll be curious to see like what kind of money this movie's going to make at the box office, because you're dealing with a franchise that is relatively new to people, and no one knows much about. No one over the age of 38 knows a lot about Pokemon. It's gonna be really interesting to see like what kind of how something like this will do financially. And before we get into
can I just add on to that? Sorry.
Sure, go ahead, Drew.
With the introduction of Pokemon Go, though, that's broadened the audience of Pokemon a lot. Like, I know people who are over the age of 38 and 40 who play Pokemon Go, and they can start, and they name Pokemon now. Like, oh, look, that's a Pikachu, that's an Ivysaur, that's a Squirtle. So when they see trailers like, Pikachu, they can relate to more. Like, oh, yeah, I know those. I've seen those in Pokemon Go, which could also attract them to the movie as well, especially since a lot of them like the Pikachu character.
Yeah, I want to say that Pikachu, out of all the CG models, Pikachu is probably the best looking thing in the movie. Everything else I'm just kind of like mixed on. All right, before we move into our final segment, Rooney, brief thoughts on the Sonic movie. Go.
Are Sonic's arms gonna be blue? Because I knew a guy.
Sonic's arms are actually blue if you look at the poster.
I know a guy who's gonna boycott that movie as much.
It's not like we're trying to remove a mustache.
What?
Sonic's arms are going to be blue, and let's just say someone is probably going to make very huge boycotts, maybe even vandalize movie posters, and if that happens, it's going to be great.
Can we just get a Sonic movie already?
Watch that too.
There is one.
There is one.
No, like a new one, like a revamped one.
I would so watch a Sonic movie at this point.
Just look up Asperchu.
Yeah, Asperchu. They're like Asperchu.
All I'm saying is, you guys, is that Dr. Eggman is gonna be.
Dr. Eggman's gonna be Jim Carrey.
I feel like Rooney would love to do a podcast just talking about Chris Chan.
I can't stand.
We can do that.
What
do you think, Drew?
Oh, I think the Mecha Game has to need to chime in first.
But the Sonic movie, I have a better version of it. Scrap the idea of Sonic. I gotta watch Godzilla instead.
Is that coming out the same month?
It's gonna be that. I already know Sonic's gonna be September. I'm gonna watch Godzilla instead.
They are actually both being. I think actually Detective Pikachu and King of the Monsters are both being produced by Legendary, so that's something to think about.
But the thing too with Godzilla, we got a rematch coming up 2020 with King Kong.
Yeah, and that's hopefully that doesn't. Let's hope Adam Wingard doesn't ruin that.
Yeah,
I mean, like he ruined
Like you ruined Death Note.
Death Note.
Oh my god, we don't talk about
That's
that.
him. He's directing
don't-
it.
We don't talk about that. Next subject.
Adam,
So let's talk about Death
Yeah.
Note.
Let's talk about
Briefly-
come on. Let's talk about.
let's move on. Sure, why not? Why not?
If I watch Death Note again, I'm gonna watch the Japanese version of it. That was better than it's better than the American one.
Hold up. I'm gonna pull a Zach right now. This is to everyone out there who watches anime or watches TV or is alive. Do not go on Netflix. Do not watch Death Note, and you'll be okay.
Yeah, and hopefully, and I'm a little concerned now for Godzilla vs Kong because the guy who gave us that movie, direct this one. But-
I don't like Adam Wingard.
Wait. Is Adam Wingard the same one who made the '94 one?
No, Adam Wingard is a newer director. He's done like Blair Witch, a movie that I also did not like, and
Okay.
Death Note.
Let's just have Michael Bay
Oh.
direct the movie.
And again, I
Nah,
didn't.
Michael Bay.
I'm
Oh,
I'm
go
not
ahead.
a big fan of the original Blair Witch Project anyway. I think the movie's really overrated. So maybe that's my bias.
No, Joe. On that point, talking about Michael Bay, I think it's time to get to the final section.
Oh yeah, Joe, I want to hear your rant.
To get to the final segment of the podcast. This is a segue into our final segment. We're gonna have every now and then we're gonna have a little thing called Joe's rants, and this is going to be a brief rant. Today's rant is watch Bumblebee. So,
You thought it was good.
So it's not really a rant. It's a anti-rant.
but here's why it's a rant. The reason why it's a rant is because Bumblebee is a great movie and is watching it.
Wow.
This
Yeah.
movie, it took this movie a month to make $100 million domestically, while everyone else was watching Aquaman or Mary Poppins. And I think Paramount made the biggest mistake they could all year by putting out Bumblebee the same day as Aquaman. Like they should have put this out a week earlier or 2 weeks earlier, because it's really hurting this movie. After 10 years, 10 long years of Michael Bay's racist, sexist style over substance horse, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you finally get a good Transformers movie, a one with
Hey,
character.
the second one was my favorite though. I liked the second one. That one was good.
Is awful.
That's the
The
worst.
I love the second
one
one.
is awful. But this one has character. It has heart.
Mhm, I heard good things.
It has great designs of the Transformers themselves. It has, it's got everything that the Michael Bay movies didn't have. It's got action sequences that you can actually tell what's going on.
It has
And,
Haley Steinfeld.
The Transformers themselves matter. Bumblebee is an integral part of the story. The Decepticons are integral to the story. They're not just there to get killed. They are, the two characters in the two Decepticons movie, Dropkick and Shatter, they are central to the movie's plot. They're not just no-name Decepticons like they were in the previous films. And they're short, but there's two great Cybertron sequences in the beginning of the movie and near the middle. And I want to see a Cybertron movie in the style of the beginning of
That
Bumblebee.
would be amazing.
You give me that kind of movie, Paramount. Created the best Transformers movie ever, but we're not gonna get it unless I'm talking to you, everyone in the podcast, and everyone listening at home. Go to your local movie theater, buy a ticket to Bumblebee, and watch it. Even if you don't care about this stuff, just buy a ticket and just walk out, so they know. Because even if you don't watch the movie, the ticket matters. The ticket matters, so that way people know you saw the movie, and it makes a lot of money, so we can get more good Transformers movies. I'm telling you people right now, if this movie fails and we go back to Michael Bay's crap,
It's not gonna fail.
Well, Michael Bay was going to
Single
be
one of
directing one
you.
anyways, right? Like, didn't they take a year break so Michael Bay could focus on the next one?
No, I mean he did produce Bumblebee, but like he didn't direct it.
Yeah, but I'm
Like,
saying
he was
the next one though. The next one's going to be a Michael Bay one.
No,
Yeah,
it's not. I don't think it is.
there were going to be a Transformers 6 Michael Bay, but they took it off the release schedule, and now there's there's back and forth talks about them possibly rebooting it. And if they just go straight up reboot, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm all-
New director. Let's see. I'm down. Joe, I'm with you. I love the Transformers movie. They're great, but I'm also down for a reboot. I want to see what they can do.
I want to see it too.
May I get an idea for you?
Sure, shoot.
You may like this, Joe. Put it on Cybertron.
I just said that.
Oh, must be like
Yeah, the beginning of Bumblebee was by far the best beginning of any Transformers movie. I saw Bumblebee
Wait.
a few years ago.
no. What I mean,
Exactly.
I mean, put the whole movie on Cybertron, and like continue from like Optimus Prime,
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Autobots versus. Oh God.
So, hi. So I'm a troll on the internet.
Hello, troll.
Oh no!
Troll.
And
What do you want,
and you're
troll?
saying
Get out of
Um,
here, troll.
Well, I can't hear you.
sorry. So you're saying that I should not wait till Bumblebee comes out on DVD, so I don't have to waste my money. I should go to the theater and leave my computer room that I type on and write negative reviews about Bumblebee because Michael Bay in the Transformers movies and John Cena did it, so that's why people can't see it.
John Cena was
troll.
actually the best character in the movie, in my opinion.
Yes, troll. You should go see Bumblebee because it's an actually good movie. It's sitting there on your sticky keyboard. Go out there
Why are you
and
assuming
see-
sticky?
and see Bumblebee because it's a great movie. It's better than Aquaman. It's better than Mary Poppins. It's not better than Into the Spider-Verse, which more people need to see.
Whoa, you think it's better than Aquaman?
Yes, I do.
A lot better than Aquaman.
Wow.
A lot of things are better than Aquaman.
Rudy, you hearing this?
Hi, my name's not Rooney right now. My name is the Troll. So I will take your word for it. On my next day off, I'm gonna go see Bumblebee.
Sam, I'm about you.
But yeah, that's my that's Joe's rant on go see Bumblebee or else you're an idiot. But anyway, that's going to end our show. You guys were watching Kosura Media Group. I hope you guys had a great time with tonight's show. We all had a great time. I'm Joseph Torres. I'm here with Rooney.
That's
Kobe.
me.
I'm here with Kobe.
Oh, that's awkward.
And
I'm here
Drew.
and I'm here with New Mecha Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
We are Kosura Media Group, and we are signing out. Take care.
See ya.
See ya.